You are listening to the Urban Sports Team. I'm Wole. My co-host Ray Jeezy's out. But you can check us out at www.urbansportscene.com. Man, it's our Fury Usyk live post-fight show. Hey, man, before we get into all that, because y'all can tell I'm hyped, let's get into the particulars. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, tune in, and iHeartRadio. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Hey, make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel as well. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG at Urban Sports Scene and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also, I forgot, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that red subscribe button and like this video. Also, join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, man, let's get into this fight. But first, let me introduce our guest right now. I got my man's from the Adams Boxing Show, excuse me, man. Wayne and Jermayne. What is going on,
What's going
fellas?
on, man?
Aren't
Whoa.
y'all look, man, aren't y'all hype?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
man,
Hey,
That
it
was
bro,
was
a
a
that
good
good
was
fight.
a fight, man. That was a big time fight. But let's get into it. So today we just broke after we're streaming live. WBO, IBF, WBA champ Oleksandr Usyk defeated WBC Lineal champion Tyson Fury by split decision to become the undisputed heavyweight champion up in the Kingdom Arena in
Yeah.
Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Man, first off, man, what were your thoughts on the fight?
Well, my thoughts, man, it was a good fight, man. It was
Uh-huh.
a technical expertise type matchup like I thought it was going in, and I
Yeah.
knew it was going to be high IQ, high level boxing from start to finish, man. It definitely met my expectations for sure.
Yeah, and Usyk started off good. Then you saw
Yep.
Fury start taking control of the fight. Man, you think,
Yep.
okay, Fury's gonna run away with this thing, and then boom, you know. So
Yeah. So speaking of that, like, so all right. So what was your prediction? I think you all predict that Usyk was going to win
yeah,
Yeah,
before the
we
fight.
did. Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We had just a bad decision.
All right. So I know it was my prediction too. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So, but I guess I want to know what were your I mean, it definitely happened, but what were your reasons for that? Because obviously a lot of people were saying that Fury was the bigger boxer, a guy who had great boxing skill, but then you had a smaller guy in Usyk, but also with a lot of boxing skill. But the size was a lot would deter a lot of people from picking Usyk. But what was your reason?
Well, my main reason was like this. We know Fury usually, when he fights somebody, he's a way better boxer than this person
Mm-hmm.
by a large margin. He's
Yes.
way slicker by a large margin. So me going in, I thought, now what is he going to do when he goes against somebody that is just as slick and just as good of a boxer he is, and
Mm-hmm.
definitely has more hand speed. So those are my main reasons why I picked Usyk. I just thought the slickster was going to get out slick. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my main reason.
yeah,
You got the same reason?
yeah.
That was how you was vibing it?
Mainly because usually Fury has the boxing advantage, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really see that going into this one. Usyk is a master boxer as well. Usually Fury will have that advantage going in over everybody, and on top of the size, he's bigger, and he can
Yes.
fight on the outside.
Right.
So, but in this one, he didn't have as many advantages as he usually does
Yeah,
going into fights.
outside of the weight and stuff like that, and the height, reach, that was the only thing he really
Yeah,
had. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, and that's I guess that watching the fight early, to me, Usyk had it like you all said. The first I had Usyk winning 2 out of 3 rounds. I think a lot of people have Usyk winning the
yeah,
second round. I had Fury actually win the second round. I had Usyk winning the third round.
yeah, you can give him that.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, and it was Usyk. Usyk. The normal Usyk game plan. He was constant action. Like he was constant action. He's following. He was the aggressor. He was following Fury. Fury was on his back foot, and he was following Fury from ring side to side, post to post. To a point where I was thinking like, all right, if he can keep this pace up, in the later rounds, he's going to get Fury tired. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And he's going to be able to kind of, like we've all seen, win those championship rounds. But then it got to that middle, after the third round, Fury had a rhythm. Like the jab was popping, the body shots I thought turned the fight. I thought he was hitting Usyk with some tough body punches.
Oh man, he
And
was.
then even after that, it felt like Usyk was kind of, I feel like I want to say down on himself, but kind of, you could tell the momentum. He lost that momentum. But like,
Yeah,
as a great boxer, obviously him and his corner man, they made adjustments. And then he started landing those shots that he was kind of hitting in the first round. And he was finding that left. He was finding the left he was finding the left to the head, and he was starting to use some of these hooks, and he was starting to actually kind of get advantage. And obviously, we saw what happened. But I felt like for Usyk, it kind of all. I know we're going to talk about the knockdown in the 9th round, but to me, it kind of changed in the round before. I think some folks gave that round to Fury. I actually gave that round to Usyk, but it kind of changed to me where prior to that, Fury had like one of his better rounds. Fury looked like he was about to dominate, maybe get Usyk there. And then I felt like Usyk changed the momentum a little bit by having Fury feel him, especially as round 7 ended. I mean, round 8 ended. And maybe he's going to build on that. And we saw him come out in round 9 pretty fast. But I want to know from you all, when did you think the fight kind of changed for Usyk?
Well, in my opinion, it kind of changed when you seen the round where he caught Fury and Fury started bleeding.
Yes, exactly.
That's when I noticed him. Yeah, I can't remember the exact round, but I know like I said, Fury was definitely taking over the fight.
Yeah,
then
I may have been 8 for real talk.
It had to be around that.
I'm talking about 7 in. You're talking about 8. You're right. You're
right.
8.
Okay. Yeah. And it seemed like the fight was just getting away from Usyk a little bit. Like Fury was about just winning in a landslide after a while. Then I don't know. Usyk did what a champion does. He made the adjustments. So when you make them adjustments, and he caught Fury with that punch, I think it might have been a left that opened up that cut.
Yes.
That eye, whatever, nose, whatever it was, and that was the game changer right there. And then he started going to work on Fury, and we saw he almost knocked Fury out.
And shout out to Drew. I just seen somebody comment.
Drew, yeah, he kind of hype. Yeah,
he hype Usyk. Okay, Drew. Shout out to Drew.
Nah, so to your point, I think it's funny. It's almost like that. Rocky versus the Russian type of thing, right? Yeah. When Rocky made him bleed, and it was like, then you saw it was different. Like, right, it was different when Usyk saw. When Fury saw his own blood, he kept touching his nose, and he kept trying to. It wasn't jovial Usyk. Fury anymore. You know what I mean? Because he was all having a good time, being a gypsy king and everything, and doing this thing. But when he saw blood, it was different. Like his reaction was different. So I think that's a good point that you made. Like, yeah, he saw the blood and it was like, oh, all right, all right, this ain't cute no more.
Yeah,
ain't cute no more. Like, all right, this different. Like, this different.
Fight now.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna ask you, even the stuff I'm talking about, and we'll get more into it. But do you think, because I watched the fight, do you think Fury was playing around too much, or was he trying to mask maybe being hurt on certain punches? Because with all the celebration, all the smiling, all the Muhammad Ali type of shimmies and whatnot, do you think that he was playing a little bit too much, knowing that he had an animal in Usyk right there ready to go at him?
I think he honestly felt like he had control of the fight. Honestly, he's a confident guy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what I seen.
Yeah, I think he only plays around like that if he feels like he has a certain amount of control. Now, if he would have got knocked down in the first round, I don't think he would have been doing that. But I felt like he never felt like he truly was out of his league or whatever. So he'll play around a little bit. If he got a little distance from you about a foot or two away from you, he gonna throw them arms behind his back. You know what I'm saying? You ain't in too much striking distance. You know what I'm saying? So he's just he's a showman. You know what I'm saying? He's built up that persona over his career. At first, he wasn't as much of that, but he's been on to the ultimate showman. I feel like he's probably gonna do that no matter who he fight now.
No, that's wild because I was me watching it. I was like, yeah, I think you playing way too much.
Yeah,
I think that you playing like this ain't. I mean, at the end of the day, like this ain't, and no knock on him, but this ain't Deontay Wilder. This ain't a one-trick pony.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like this is not like this is a heavyweight fight, and this is a unit. This is like this is a dude that we saw what he did to Anthony Joshua like twice. Forget the one, but twice.
Right.
This is a legit threat.
You can't he definitely was showing, and some trainers won't allow that.
Yeah,
but he's got that reputation, and they fully trust him, and they will allow him to do that because if he's with the oldest of old school trainers, he got an pretty old school trainer.
Yeah.
Trainers is Emmanuel Stewart nephew.
Yeah.
But they let him get away with it because he done toyed with a lot of guys in the past.
Yeah. So, and to your point, I just think, and you said y'all said this earlier, which I do agree with, is that like he's never seen a dude like Usyk because he's always been 10 times better than those dudes in terms of as a technical fighter. Like you're now seeing a guy, and let's be real, in the heavyweight division, that's not a thing that we typically see a tactician in the heavyweight in the heavyweight division. And now you're actually seeing that you don't see a one-trick pony. You don't see a guy who's just waiting on one punch or just waiting for like that one series where he can knock you out.
Yeah.
You're waiting. Now you're fighting a guy who is really trying to set you up and is like thinking in the ring just like you.
Mm-hmm. The IQ is just as good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I totally agree with y'all. Like when you bring that up, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much the thing. Like he's fighting a guy that's not. Again, it's different. There's like y'all know, y'all are boxing historians. There's levels to this. Like there's levels to this, and I just feel like I don't know if he didn't take Usyk serious, that's a big problem to me.
I think he did. I think he took him serious. He knew what he was up against.
Okay.
He knew. I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did too. I just think his showmanship, I think that's part of trying to shake off the nerves, shake off the possible something that he didn't expect, like him getting caught and then eventually start showing off again. I think he was just trying to, try to shun what's really going on to keep his composure.
Okay. That's what I feel like.
And I see Fury. I mean, I'm sorry. I see Drew says that he think Fury, felt the size advantage, was too much, so he didn't put his foot on the gas, basically. And that's interesting. I didn't even think about it like that.
I can see that, but you know what? And it's wild. So shout out to my man from Boxing Source, James Bell, came on Wednesday, and he said this, and we kind of like because he at first had Fury definitely winning, like he thought it was going to be, it wouldn't be close, right? And then he said it kind of scared him when Fury decided to lose a lot of weight for this fight. To kind of be slim. And we all know, but just him fighting Deontay Wilder and whoever, like an advantage for him was kind of leaning on people with that weight, with that extra weight. So now to me, it's because that's why it's wild to me that he was playing, or like not playing right, just having those type of gestures where to me, obviously you had to take this man serious because this man, you lost weight for this dude. And that to me, that was an advantage of yours to have all that weight because then you can lean on him. Because I felt like he leaned on Usyk a little bit in the fight, but not as much as say he did Anthony Joshua.
That's yeah.
Like, because I thought like he would try to do that a lot more to at least get him tired, for him to get tired towards the later rounds. Because we know that if Usyk has the ability and has the win, he's gonna be good in those later rounds. The issue is going to be you Fury to kind of stay with Usyk in those later rounds.
So that's a good point, man. You would have thought he would try to lay on him more, but I don't know if he probably thought if him laying on him will make him tired himself.
Oh, yeah, you might tire yourself out.
Yeah. So did you feel like he was getting tired in later rounds, or just felt like he just it was what it was?
Yeah, you that's a good point, bro. I mean, that's something I'm thinking about now in retrospect. Like, man, you probably could have tried to tire this guy out after a while. I guess he probably chose going to the body more so than laying on him. You know what I'm saying? So he probably didn't have the perfect balance of laying on somebody and going to the body, but he definitely seemed like he chose 90%. I'm gonna just attack his body versus laying on him.
Yeah, shout out to him. No, I ain't gonna lie, them body shots for me. I'm gonna get some Fury his flowers. Those body shots for me.
Yeah, got to.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it
Shout
was
out to Not Bland Show. Shout out to Not Bland.
No, Fury was still fighting. Are you serious?
Wow.
DJ, man, you tripping, bro? Look, DJ, you tripping? Like I want to do a victory lap because I told folks, man, this dude was going to win. I feel so good about this. I'm not gonna lie to y'all because I love being right. You know what I'm saying? I love being right. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I'm a troller too. I'm a troller too, and I love being right because I'm like the whole time folks were telling me, man, Fury too big, and he's skilled too. There's no way Usyk can stand with him. And it's like, and also I feel like this justified, like this kind of shows folks that my man Anthony Joshua is still one of those dudes in the game. Because I said this, and I said this when Anthony fought him, and I said it even here. I said, no way, if you're going the distance with with Usyk, you're gonna lose. You got to get him out of there. If you're a big heavyweight, you're not gonna win rounds, like you're not gonna win the majority of rounds with this dude because he's just too skilled. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just too skilled, and he may not be the heavier puncher compared to you, but he's gonna hit you, and he's gonna hit you flush because he's very accurate. So if he hits you flush and you're not ready for it, you can go down. You may not be knocked out or whatever, but you can go down. So like it just shows going to this fight, like what happens when, to me, this dude has been the best heavyweight. Like he is the best heavyweight in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like I know Fury was like he thought he won the fight and blah blah blah. I actually had it 7-5 with the knockdown for Usyk. For
Mm-hmm.
Usyk, that's how I scored it. But I don't think it, in any way. Plus, with the knockdown, that Fury can feel like he's cheated. Do you think he has a right to feel like he was cheated? Because he said that after the fight.
Not necessarily cheated, but felt like he possibly, squeaked it out.
Yeah, he
Okay.
probably should feel like he won more rounds than probably was given for, because he did win a lot of rounds in that middle part.
Yeah, that middle part. Yeah, that middle part.
And I'm gonna tell you, a knockdown is basically the equivalent of winning 2 rounds. So
facts. That's what I'm saying.
So, and he's not thinking about that as the fighter. He's not thinking about that.
That was my thing. It's like, bro, you got knocked down, and the optics are gonna look bad if they did give you the win. I ain't gonna lie to you, because folks will start hating on that. He said, "What did you guys think about the ref not ruling Fury down on the one of the first 3 times Fury used to use the ropes to clear? Okay, clearly stay up. Glad he didn't stop the fight after the fact but that was suspect. You know what? I didn't think so. I don't have an issue with the way the ref managed the 9th round. I won't lie to you, Drew. Because I'm like, I think he was giving him an opportunity to get his wits together. But he eventually, he was going to go down. I felt like he was going to go down anyway. The way I was looking at how I was looking at it, I was waiting for him just to go on one knee. Because I knew Usyk wasn't going to stop. Like, that's how I looked at it. And it was too much time. Usyk wasn't going to stop. Like, and Usyk isn't like a Deontay Wilder type of dude who's just going to swing wildly. Like, he's going to pick his part where he can get you and where he can hit you clean. Because it wasn't like Fury was in a position where he was in a position where he can act, where his defense was on point, because he was open. He was open, period, during that whole process. So I didn't really have an issue with how the ref managed it, but how about you all?
I didn't have too much of a problem with it. I can see why people probably would have some concern about it. Because I mean he did allow Fury to use the ropes, keep himself up. And they probably next time around, I'm pretty sure Usyk's team, because it's probably going to be a rematch, they definitely going to point that out just in case. But in a big fight like this, I'm not surprised they let so much ride, because the ref didn't want to interfere with anything. You know what I'm saying? That's all that was. That's my opinion. They didn't call it so tight. You
had an issue with? Did you have an issue with that?
No, not at all. No.
I didn't. I thought it was cool. To me, how I view a heavyweight, and we saw how Fury responded when Anthony Joshua knocked his butt down. So it's hard for me to actually ever say, all right.
Yeah.
He won, and he was boxing after that, right? So it's hard for me to I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Say, all right, dude, you can come out. You can still be able to continue with the fight. Because for the folks who were like, the fight should have ended there, that's why I have more of a gripe. Because I'm I don't think a fight should stop on any champion on one knockdown. It has to be the most massive knockdown in the world for that.
Right, exactly.
Can you imagine the amount of fights that would have been stopped if you?
Seriously, yeah. And for the people crying about it, look what happened. He still, at the end of the day, to me, still lost most of those rounds after. But he had his wits. He was still boxing. You know what I'm saying? He had some good showing with going with some body work and whatnot. And still some good lateral movement. So I think for the people complaining about, it should have been stopped, look how he responded after it. Then that kind of negates it being stopped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I feel you for sure.
I had a question for you though. Wole. Would you have had a problem if it was a draw?
Nah, because I'm like, even the way I have it scored, I know I'm a firm believer that 50-50 rounds, I can be wrong.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But the optics would look bad in my opinion, only because one dude had the knockdown. That bothers me. That would bother me then. In my mind, it would bother me, but I would understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There were some rounds I judged. I was like, damn, I don't know, that was close. But I like how so and so finished off the last 30 seconds of the fight, because I thought it was a little bit in between. I just I like the way somebody may have finished it off for the last 30 seconds. So it was I don't ever argue. I don't argue depending on the rounds people are scoring. I don't argue close rounds, because I can't do that. It's fair. I feel like it's fair. So if it was a draw, I wouldn't have had an issue with it, because it still sets up an awesome rematch, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So it's and we don't typically get that in the heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? In the heavyweight division, something this competitive. Now we could talk about a rematch. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had trilogies like this.
Yeah, that's in boxing period nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of division, like we barely get, if it's a competitive fight, we get that rematch. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, they said that the IBF they're gonna have another two guys fight. So the undisputed Usyk is only gonna be undisputed for like 2 weeks.
The thing is, the IBF is not playing. They on it. They want their mandatories to fight.
All right, they trying. So they're not gonna be undisputed for that long. Are you serious? I didn't know that.
That's what I seen. I hope they find a way.
That would be trash. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that would be trash. That man deserves. He deserves that title for real. Like as the undisputed, heavyweight champion. Because that his showing was. I'm happy for that dude, man. He deserved it for real. I'm just happy for that dude. All right, Drew said, Fair just bought Fury more time and let Fury get saved by the bell versus Usyk being able to attack with the 15 seconds left. Oh, that's fair. I agree with that. I see where you're coming from. That's fair, Drew. That's very fair. I could see that. But yeah, but in terms of this heavyweight fight, how would you? What would you? I'm gonna say rank it, but yeah, I know. In terms of this heavyweight fight, how would you rank this one? This heavyweight fight within the last 10 years of heavyweight fights. Where would you rank this one?
I rank it right up there in the up there at the top. I like Fury Wilder 3.
Okay.
This is right up there with it.
Okay.
I'll probably put those in my top 2. Fury Wilder 3, and then I'll go this one flip-flop. I might flip-flop between each one of them. But those are my top 2 probably in the last 10 years. What about you?
See, this would be my only because in competition would be this one. I ain't gonna lie, you got me thinking about Fury Wilder 3. That was really exciting too. That was an exciting fight. Yeah, because it looked like Wilder was ready. He looked like he was ready for that one. Then Fury just finished that boy off though. I ain't like how he finished him off early though. It would be this one. I ain't gonna lie. This one would probably be my top within the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to think of an amazing competitive heavyweight fight that had a seesaw affair. You know what I'm saying? Like just like y'all said, like, all right, Usyk started strong. Then you got Fury who kind of dominated, and then you got Usyk who took over the later rounds, right? So it's like there was an ebb and flow. Like it was almost like old school. You know what I'm saying? Like old school, just vintage, 2 great boxers going at it. Not to a point where when you sometimes you get disappointed. You got 2 of the best in the world going against each other. We all think are 2 of the best. They fighting. Then you're like, damn, like that other dude just so much better than the other one. You know what I'm saying? Like he's so much better. Like I'm gonna use Bud and Earl, like 2 of the best in the world. They going at it, but one was so much more dominant than the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this one, you could make the argument like, all right, like you said, it could have been a draw. It could have been Fury with the win, maybe by one. One judge had it by 1.
It was close.
That close.
Yeah, one judge had Fury 114, 113.
Look, when he said 114 that last card,
you thought it was the same.
I know, right? A draw, bro.
I know, me too.
I think Fury was thinking that too. Fury was because when he said that 113, Fury kind of like, oh no.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Oh, Drew got a good one too. I like that one too. I did like Joshua. That's one. All right. Usyk Fury. Joshua. I was thinking about Joshua Klitschko. I was thinking about that one too. I won't even lie. I was thinking about that one.
That's
good, Les. Joshua. Usyk Joshua 2. Fury Wilder 1. Fury Wilder 1 was good. And for me in that order. You like Usyk or Joshua too? I'm just so disappointed in Joshua.
It was cool. It was cool.
It was good. It was good.
Over that.
Huh?
Joshua Usyk. You said Joshua Usyk 2?
2. Yeah, 2. Not 1.
That was an okay fight. It was an okay fight. I don't think it was bad. It wasn't a bad fight.
No, it wasn't bad. I was just more disappointed in Anthony. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
That was my fandom. That's all. Cause he's Nigerian. That's my fandom.
Nigerians right there.
Yeah, he definitely is. Parents is definitely from Nigeria.
Yeah, that was my fandom. I was like, I was hoping my man would win because I wanted him to I want him to crack a Fury. But yeah, I think those are all good. Those are all good ones. Because when I think about the heavyweight division and like the classic fights, it's always like, to me, I think about Evander Holyfield versus Riddick Bowe.
Yeah.
People say Holyfield versus Lennox Lewis, but I don't use that one because that's not prime Holyfield to me.
Yeah.
So I always say, like, you know, in terms of competition in the heavyweight, like true competition in the heavyweight division, when it was really going down, you had like Bowe versus Riddick Bowe was in that mix. I mean, George Foreman coming back was a neat story. I mean, you had Moore who kind of like shocked the world or whatnot. But you still had like, when Evander Holyfield was running the division, it was a lot of competitive like heavyweight fights.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So so when I see a fight like this, it kind of takes me back to that time. You know what I'm saying? Not as violent though. Those fights are more violent though.
Oh yeah. Those are real punches.
More violent. Yeah. Juice, I love AJ. Thought he fought as best as he could and adjusted. I agree. I do agree with that from the first fight. Just a high level chess match by Usyk in the championship. I agree. True. I agree with you. Those are good points. Also, very good points, man. I ain't gonna hold you. You're right. And I'm with you. Inject Fury Joshua at Wembley in my veins. Still needs to.
Hey, it still need to happen. They don't need.
Man, yeah, it need to happen. We need to get that fight. I still want that fight to go down. I want to stop ducking smoke, man. I want that fight, bro.
Both from the same country too, man. That should have been happened.
But it should have been that happen. It should have been happened, if it was next. Yeah, I thought that was the fight to happen. I thought like that. Man, don't get me started. I thought that was the fight to happen. Yeah. All right, so we still sticking on this fight. Obviously, we all expect a rematch. We expect it to go down. Oh, did we lose my mind? Oh, yeah. Y'all there? Okay, yeah. Obviously, we still expecting the rematch. First of all, when do you think the rematch is going to happen in October? I know it's on the clause. Do you think it's going to happen in October? Do you going to happen that soon? And also, secondly, where do you think that rematch should happen at?
That's a good question.
I would like to see it in October. I hope they bring it back to the UK.
To the UK? So you want to?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if it was.
I think it's going to be in Wembley. I ain't gonna lie. I do think it's going to be in Wembley, but go ahead, though. I think it will be in Wembley. I do think it will be in Wembley. We know what? No, maybe not. Because he won.
Yeah, because
Usyk won.
You know they can't put it in the UK.
Yeah, actually, I thought about that. No, Usyk won. No, it can't be. No.
Yeah, that's you be going more so than Fury's backyard.
Yeah.
Got that war going in Ukraine. They not fighting nowhere.
Oh, they're not gonna fight in Ukraine. They don't have the. No, it's not even that type of fight can't happen. I'm no disrespect.
Unless they rematch it in Saudi Arabia, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I want it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want it in Vegas, bro. I think it should happen.
I would love it in America.
I think it needs to happen. I ain't gonna lie to you. It needs to happen. I'm gonna tell you, it needs to happen in the US. It's like we growing up watching boxing, and this ain't because I'm from the United States. We live in the United States. This is being real. Like when you grow up watching boxing, the major heavyweight fights that we grew up watching, that ambiance of the because heavyweights heavyweight fights are it for boxing for us. It is. That's how it is traditionally. If you have somebody good. Sure. And then you got two guys at the top of the heap at heavyweight. It should naturally be in Vegas. It just should naturally be in Vegas. Not Brooklyn. No knock on Brooklyn. It should happen in Vegas.
It should. You know what? No, you're right. You're right. You're definitely 100% right. It should be. I wonder if the interest is there to do it, because basically fighting in Saudi Arabia ain't no different than fighting in the UK. They might as well fight in America now.
Too small of a venue for this, but this
rematch in the Garden with Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I just think it should happen. And like I get it. Like a lot of people are like the New Yorkers have kind of been the theme now. Not a church, but it's hollow. Yeah. I know I get that. No, I get it. But I'm like, when we think about heavyweight fights, man, come on, man. It don't get any better than Vegas, man. It just don't. It don't. And then we've seen it that both of these dudes, they countrymen show out for them anyway. So it's not like they're not going to travel for their guy. I think it would be an awesome fight. I think it'd be an awesome environment to have especially what we just saw, today. And then you can now transition that with promotional pull, everything, and just have that in October in Vegas. Come on, man. What we doing here?
It just both fighters get so much love across the pond, and other countries out there in Europe and all the places. Because Usyk is not the most known over in the US like Fury is.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Fury did WWE, what I'm saying?
He fought Wilder in the US.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he fought Wilder too. So That's why he has more of the fan base over here in the States.
I would like
Than
Usyk. I think Usyk should take on that challenge in the U.S. I think it's time for him to do that.
nothing wrong with it.
I think he
Nothing
would
wrong
though, and I think that if we watched even I think Usyk would do well here too. I think it would travel. I think I don't boxing fans are boxing fans. And I think once like when people feel like when people see or ESPN or whatever that, oh, this is the dude that beat Fury. Because
Oh
people know,
yeah,
like you said, like this
yeah.
he beat Fury?
Yeah. That's a
After
good
we saw what happened to our guy Wilder, because that's the people the buck. It's there was it's Wilder was like hopefully you're gonna be the next Mike Tyson. So this is the dude that beat our guy. I think at the end of the day, I feel like that also plays a part in the promotional tools, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing of like not everybody knows Terrence Bud Crawford for real, like didn't. But
Yeah.
then it was like you starting to fight people, then the buzz starts to get bigger. You're fighting, you find the right dance partner in Earl Spence that now gave him more popularity. Not to say that he's super popular now, but gave him more popularity.
That's
You
a
know what I'm
good
saying?
point.
So I do think that because of the boxing community hype it now being like, okay, no, that dude's the best boxer in the world now. Now it's a fact because he just beat you. He's the best boxer, the best heavyweight in the world, right? That's going to actually drive some buzz, and then people are going to be like, oh, he beat Fury. Then it's going to be like, oh, okay, all right,
Yeah,
we
because
got to watch it.
You even had Lil Wayne. He made a video telling Fury to beat. You know what I'm saying? Who was
Yeah,
Usyk? He's like, who was Usyk? So now that that Usyk has that win, it's like,
yeah.
oh, you bring it over here, it will be some interest. You know
Yeah, I
what I'm
feel
saying?
like it'll be some interest, and I think that and Vegas is naturally still boxing central.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what
and I
I'm saying?
forgot to mention. Look, Drake. I think Drake bet on Fury. He put a lot. He put a lot of
See
money.
what I'm saying? Like that's
$1,000.
going up.
Yeah.
It's going crossover because the people gonna be like, "Oh, this dude beat you. This dude beat you."
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I do think on the flip side, like yeah, we can say I agree with y'all. Don't get twisted. Like I do think that Fury popularity, just like the same way we should talk about like Bud. But I do think that because this happened, it especially in heavyweight, something about heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Like
Heavyweight, yeah. Ain't nothing like
something
the
about heavyweight.
big
You know,
boys, man. Ain't
yeah.
nothing.
Like, can you say like why would everybody know like why when Anthony Joshua went to New York? Like real talk, why would you know Anthony Joshua?
Yeah.
What has he done in the U.S. for you to know Anthony Joshua? I'm keeping it a buck. What has he done? I'm a pro Anthony Joshua dude, but the only people that truly should know Anthony Joshua are boxers, boxing
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
But he still did well, but he did well in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can so I do think that because if I come out and say you're pound for pound the best heavyweight in the world, there is some cachet with that to kind of bring people to come watch you.
Yeah.
So
No,
come to
for
Vegas,
sure.
man. Let's let this thing happen in
Yeah, get
Vegas.
it in Vegas. I'm with it.
Get it in Vegas, bro. Like, don't play with it. Like,
Yeah.
that's money to be made. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
is money to be made. It has to go down like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of for Fury, he said he wants to take time off. Do you think that's the best? Do you think it's best for him to take some time to think about it, be with family, whatever? So, do you think Fury's going to do this rematch right away? Because he has a clause. It's up to him. Right away, or does he take a tune-up fight? Or what do you think he's going to do?
You get your first loss. I think you should want to run it back immediately. I think
Immediately.
of course, the natural thing to say is let me just get some rest and hang with the family because that's immediately after the fight. You know what I'm saying? You just fought a 12-round grueling fight, so that's just naturally what these guys say nowadays.
Yeah.
But I think he should go right back in it. Maybe 3 months from now. You know how these guys do 3-4 months, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think he should do. To be honest, man, you just revenge that first loss, man.
Do you think there's a place where Usyk doesn't they play that game where the rematch doesn't happen? Like
wow.
early. Do you think there's a way like that can happen? Like because everybody thought the Earls would get his rematch off the rip, you know what I'm saying? But then it was like, nah, they don't it ain't gonna happen that way.
Oh man, that'd be crazy, man. I think this even more high demand than that rematch. So I would let because that one was one side. That was a beatdown.
Just
This one
beat
was
down, true.
actually a good fight.
Yeah.
Actually lived up to the hype in terms of it being competitive. So
Yep.
I would hope that
So you don't think there's no way that it could be like, all right, 'cause that's good. No, man, that's a good thing. I hope it doesn't happen. That's what I'm saying. I hope it doesn't happen that way. But I was like how things are. Everybody thinks a rematch is definitely going to happen, and it tends not to happen.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
I wonder what Usyk will do. Will he just ride off into the sunset? You know what I'm saying? I became
I don't know, because Usyk a funny dude, bro. I mean, Usyk is a different dude.
yeah.
He a different dude, and also like, I mean, you obviously know he. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't love boxing, but you know, he's an interesting dude. Like, he's an interesting dude. He's just like he's like a Terminator, right?
Mhm.
Like, he's a Terminator, but it's not like, and he's not the showman in boxing. So I don't know
Right.
what drives him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
is it driving him to be undefeated and be the best? What truly drives him in terms of your point? Where would he just like be like, man, I did enough, man. I own the cruiserweight, I own amateurs. You know what I'm saying? I'm Olympic style, but I'm one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the best heavyweight in the world. Like arguably, I guess we can put this out there. We ask, you know, in terms it does make sense. Would you have him right now, pound for pound, best boxer in the world from the
I
resume?
definitely got him top two. Him or Inouye, give
I
it
know you
to him.
want to say anyway. I know y'all love anyway.
Thing is, Bud's inactivity. It's
Yeah,
it's hard to reward him as a number one pound for pound fighter when he hasn't fought since last July.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. I got you.
But the thing is that because I know he was expecting to fight Earl, right away, but it didn't work
Hmm.
out that way. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
facts.
So that kind of messed up that messed it up right there. His inactivity, man, it's hard, man. But I have no problem anybody, still says Bud's number one, but it's hard with that inactivity. I don't know if I can do
I
it.
ain't gonna lie. So I'm gonna go with like I'm kind of like I know I'm probably a prisoner in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of want to say Usyk is the best pound for pound boxer in the world, and only reason I'm saying that is because of what and only because of like his path. Like, you are undefeated and you've dominated every division you had to be in to get here,
Mm-hmm.
bro. And then you went to heavyweight to be a small heavyweight, and now you're doing the same. You're doing the same work.
And I'm gonna point this
That's a
out.
challenge, man. Yeah.
Is Tyson getting a win over Tyson Fury a better win than Bud beating Errol Spence?
Yeah.
So you kind of can
Because
look at it that way too, and they both
yeah,
undisputed.
I would say that's a good question. I would say yes. And the only reason why I'm saying yes is because one, I mean, both are undefeated, so we have that argument. Like, both were undefeated.
Yep.
But this dude was deemed like the actual best heavyweight in the world.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't no argument.
See, now you just made it.
There
You
was
made
no
even.
argument. Like, everyone said he's the best heavyweight. With Bud, though, you had some people that believe Bud was the best, which is cool. Some people, but Bud was the best. They were right. So I'm keeping they were right. But you had a lot of people thought that Earl was the best.
Yeah, and Errol had 3 of the belts too.
Yeah. So, but this is different. Like,
Yeah.
he was overall the best. There was nobody saying, like, if you go to Vegas odds, obviously Fury was the favorite. Like,
Yeah.
that's the
He was
reason why he was
quite
a
favored. Yeah.
favorite. Because this is an upset in to a lot of people's eyes, right? Let's keep it a buck.
Mm-hmm.
This is an upset.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think his win is more impressive because you're a smaller guy. Like, you're dog, you basically a real cruiserweight. It's
Yeah.
almost because it's think about what Roy Jones did to fight Ruiz when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
win the heavyweight championship. That
Mm-hmm.
type of that, and how that took a toll on his body just to go back down, right?
Yeah.
But just this for him to accomplish that, we were like, damn, dude, like, you
That,
him. We
yeah.
all said you him. Well, dude, you beat Anthony Joshua and Fury as a cruiserweight. I
Yeah.
mean, we put on some weight to be a heavyweight, but that's what you did. That is on your resume. You showed the world similar to what like Evander was a cruiserweight, went to heavyweight, and did damage. And for a while, he was the best. He was the best in the world for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Evander Holyfield was the best in the world. Here, you're in a situation where this man went from cruiserweight, dominated cruiserweight, comes to heavyweight, and now has become to a point where it was arguably one of the better heavyweight. Then beat the person that everyone thought was the best heavyweight and
Mm-hmm.
knocked him out. So, and it's only two. And in real talk, in the game, there's only two heavyweights outside of Oleksandr Usyk that people truly respect right now as boxers, and that's Fury and probably Anthony Joshua. People tend to worry about Wilder. And you have my boy from Jersey. Who's my young boy from Jersey?
Mm.
The young heavyweight that's with top rank. Oh,
Oh, you talking about what you talking? I know you talking about Jared Adams. He from
yeah,
no, he
Anderson.
from
Jared
no, he from
Anderson. Like,
Toledo.
yeah,
He from Toledo, Ohio. Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry, from Ohio. Sorry, I thought it was Jersey. Yeah, Ohio. Jared Anderson, right?
Yeah,
You
Jared
got
Adams.
Anderson. So it's like,
Hold on. Don't forget Joseph Parker either, though.
yeah, Parker. You like, yeah, I mean, people like me. Parker's fine. Yeah,
You know,
Parker's fine.
your boy Anthony Joshua already beat him
Yeah,
though.
he beat him. I don't be worried about Joseph Parker. Joshua owns Parker. That's why I'll be thinking about it. That's why I said the dudes really respect. I wouldn't try to throw no shit. I would just say dudes they really respect, dog. That's all I'm saying.
Man, Parker,
yeah, he all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He all right. You know, that whatever. He all right.
You a trip, bro.
He all right. But I'm just saying, like, this dude pretty much went through that. You know what I'm saying? To a point from the threats. I guess you could say that, I want to see him fight Deontay Wilder because that's the true power, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could be an argument to say, oh, I want to see how Usyk goes against Wilder because Wilder is like he got real power. But Anthony Joshua he don't got Wilder power, but Anthony Joshua has enough power. He was able to maintain. And then also, at the same time, like Wilder, like we all know, Wilder's so one-dimensional. That Usyk's such a supreme boxer that like you would take Usyk anyway, right?
Yeah, so and the thing is, Wilder, once that power kind of diminishes, it diminishes. Yeah,
then it's like, then it's like, okay, you can do work. Now you can do work on him. But I think but to your point, I would say that his victories are more impressive. That's why I would put him up. And I've become a big Bud fan too. So real talk. I know it's kind of like the transitioning, but I've become a big Bud fan. But I do think that in terms of like the most impressive wins, I'm gonna go with like Fury. His resume is just what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, the impressive victories, you know what I'm saying, the activity, I love Bud. Like I got much respect for Bud's skill set, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, if he is impressive over Majmov, knocks him out, he puts himself right back in it. So
of course, if he gets that fight with Canelo and he do the same thing, then the same thing applies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the same thing applies. But I just think that when we look at it's just like we gotta be fair. Like I think regardless of being in the European or whatever, but you got to be fair in the situation. Looking at it like if anybody went from one division to the next division and then dominate one division and the other division, you would say like they're the best.
Exactly. We can't be biased just because
you can't be biased
because
of
your opinion. Of course,
you would say it.
But a lot of people are on that though. Like they don't want to give these European guys credit.
Yeah. Nah, you gotta give them his flowers because at the end of the day, like I said, like if it was Bud, and he went from this and then fought Canelo and then beat Canelo, we would be saying he the best.
Yeah.
Right? Like we would. That's just how we are. That's what it is, and it warrants that, and it does warrant that for if he did that, it warrants that. So I think at the same time, when you look at when you look at what Usyk did, dude, it's impressive as hell.
Yes.
Like that's not. Bro, like we're not talking about putting on 2 pounds or whatever to be a heavyweight. Bro, the man had to put on weight to be a heavyweight.
Yes.
And then he went against the best.
The best guy. That's what he was the best.
He didn't go against weak dudes, man. He went against the best.
Yeah.
And he was fighting some of them in their hometown, bro.
Exactly.
He was Anthony Joshua in his hometown.
Yep. Road
you know what I'm saying? So I just think, but it's interesting, like going back to what we were talking about before, like I do think it's crazy. I do think Wembley is a good place for it to happen. But now I just think my first thought process was Wembley. Like truth be told, I thought like I wanted to be Vegas, but I was like, it wouldn't happen though. Because if I'm the champion, I'm saying no. Like if I'm Usyk, that's how I fight this fight. That's how I fight the rematch. I'd be like, nah, dude, we're not.
Why I go to the UK?
Why would I go to? I'm not going.
Turkey Usyk, man. Like I said, money talks, man. Turkey Usyk got so much money.
That man is like the new Don King of the game. That man.
Oh yeah, shout out to him.
Shout out, bro. Shout out to him.
He follows us on Twitter too, man.
You do? Yeah, that's dope. Yo, that's dope.
Yeah.
I told y'all be getting it, bro. That's what's up. You follow y'all on Twitter?
Hey, appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. Nah, I do think that eventually, like, so in terms of, all right, so you think the rematch will definitely happen, right?
I hope.
Right.
But we see crazy things happen.
I know, right? All right, so what do you think, before we like wrap this up, what do you think that Fury can do differently to have a different outcome?
What can Fury do differently, man? What you think, Jermayne? Can he do differently to change the outcome? Because he was just that close.
Yeah.
He has to be a little bit more aggressive.
Okay, I think so too. He was backing up, he's backing up way too much.
Yeah, you got to be a little more aggressive. Oppose your will on Usyk at times, because when you did that, you had some.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He didn't do it enough.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with that. I felt like he was kind of so I might have to go back to what I was saying, not respecting Usyk. I think he did respect Usyk, so I'll take that back. I do think he was backing up, backing up a lot early in the fight.
But that's
Uh,
what he does, though. He fights on the outside, even though people think because he's a big guy that
yeah,
he'll bully you. But that's what he remember his fight versus Vladimir Klitschko. He
he
was
did. He
fighting
backed
on the
up,
outside.
but he didn't do that with Joshua. I mean, not Joshua.
Oh,
With
Wilder.
Wilder, he
After a
was
while,
leaning on him. He was just leaning on him.
yeah, after a while, he saw a weakness in Wilder. I think he just was like, I'm gonna spoil. I'm gonna knock this dude out, man. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
like
do it.
Wilder. So Wilder, he wasn't even. He was just like, I'm just gonna lean on you. I'm gonna go
He
forward. I'm
did.
gonna lean on
He
you.
did, though. I think he saw something while like, nah, man, this dude, like you said, one dimensional, one trick pony.
Yeah,
If he can't knock me out, I'm good. I can lean on him and I can wear him
yeah.
out.
So I don't know, like, but yeah, I think I do agree with that. Because I felt like he was aggressive and going at him, and then let his hands go. Like he was dominating them joints. I ain't gonna lie. Like
Yeah,
he went to the body, going straight forward. His combination was on point. And Usyk was worried about like the body shots to a point where then his jabs can get loose. And
yeah.
his straight right can get loose. Yeah, I think that he would going forward would be better for him. But yeah, it would be better for him. I actually my point. I think for round that's for part two of their fight, impose your size. Like I
Yeah.
think that would be the most important thing for him. He has to truly impose his size.
And like
Like
we said, like he was that close. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He might
yeah,
have to change so much. I mean,
yeah.
he was that close.
Just little adjustments, man.
Yeah,
That's
Okay. So on the flip side, I know. I mean, just because you won doesn't mean you did everything perfect.
exactly.
What would Usyk? What does Usyk need to do in the second fight to make sure that he keeps that O?
close that distance, man. When you close that distance on Fury, Fury's not the same fighter.
Mm,
You got to do it more often. Don't allow Fury to keep that distance, because when Fury keeps that distance, Usyk struggles to land. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So close that distance. You already shown that when you get close, you can tag Usyk, not tag Usyk. You can tag Fury up once you close that distance. So
yeah.
do that more frequently.
I agree. I totally agree. Well, folks, man, I appreciate y'all for being on, man. Before
Shoot,
I let you guys go, how can folks catch y'all YouTube channel, catch y'all on social media, and all that good jazz, man? Let folks know how they can reach y'all.
Adams Boxing Show, Twitter, YouTube, holler at us, man. We definitely got, like I say all the time, every time we get on here, like I said, we definitely got to be a little more active on YouTube, but Twitter, definitely holler at us, man. We definitely going to get that YouTube banging soon enough. And what's up with Ray, man? Ray, we got to holler at you next time, Ray.
Yeah, Ray gonna be on. Ray had to do some things, but Ray gonna be
Yeah.
back. Ray gonna be
Shout out
back.
to Ray.
Yeah,
Shout out
Ray
to
gonna be
Ray.
back.
Shout out to who joined us there. Drew. Shout out to No Strand Box who joined us
Yeah.
today on here too, man. Shout out to them
Shout out to
brothers too,
everybody.
man.
Shout out to you too, Wole, man.
I
Yes, sir.
appreciate y'all. Y'all know I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed one. A cool night. I'm gonna celebrate. You know what I'm saying? I like.
Oh
Again,
yeah,
I'm gonna
you got your
celebrate being right.
prediction
You got
right
a
there.
prediction right, man. Put some
Yeah,
shit
so I'm
in
gonna be celebrating. I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna be out here, bro.
Yes,
I'm gonna be out in
sir.
these streets, man. They gonna see me.
Oh yeah. Most definitely, bro.
All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy, man.
You too, bro.
All right, man. Y'all be blessed. Yeah, man. Again, great fight, man. Usyk, man, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. If y'all been listening to the Urban Sports thing, y'all been listening to last Wednesday show. I said he was gonna win, and I said, and this is a thing. I'm gonna keep saying it. Like we can't overthink boxing, because we all know, truth be told, typically the best boxers typically win fights. That's why Floyd is so great. That's why Sugar Ray was so great. That's again, Usyk is one of them. That's why Lomachenko's so great. That's why Shakur Stevenson, like dudes who are tacticians in this game. The reason, like when you're that good skill wise, you do this. You could. Roy Jones Jr. was one. When you're that good in the ring, that skilled, and you thinking on a different wavelength, you are able to do magical things in the ring, and that's what Oleksandr Usyk did. He outthought Fury. He fought his fight. He waited his time, and he got the W. And for that, man, congratulations to Oleksandr Usyk. Man, I think this rematch is going to be banging. I think we finally have a heavyweight boxing rivalry that can kind of be like, yo, I was around for that matchup. And I just think that those two men put on a good show. So I'm gonna give credit to Fury as well, because and you need a dancing partner to kind of put out a classic fight. I do think this was a classic fight, man. This was a fight that went down to the wire, and you can't ask for it. It has a drama with the knockdown and everything you wanted in the boxing fight. You know what I'm saying? It may have, you saw Fury got bloody, and it kind of changed the whole dynamic of the fight. So I think we all kind of got what we wanted in this boxing thing. So shout out to both of the combatants, man. They did the darn thing. So we about to close this show out. Hey, before we close out, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Google. Oh, sorry, not Google. We don't got Google Podcasts. Excuse me. Google Podcasts is gone. Sorry. And iHeartRadio. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also follow us on X at Urban Sports Scene, IG at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button, like this video. We try to get to 700. So if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button. Get us to 700, man. Don't hate. Congratulate. All right, man. Check out the home of the Urban Sports Scene, which is Empire Media at empiremedia.com. And this show can be found on the Podcast DC app. Download the Podcast DC app to hear all of the Empire shows, as well as other great content. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for tuning into our boxing post-fight special. You know what I'm saying? Again, Oleksandr Usyk, undisputed heavyweight champion. Remember that. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. Get it? Deuces. I'm out.
Peace.